today's date is the 19th of October 2024. We've got the price of silver in US dollars here. We are talking about Australian dollars, but we'll start with this. And I'll point out that the breakout line, there are actually two that are in play in this particular move. So obviously getting over here, this red line, this downtrend was important. You've also got the horizontal trend, okay? And we touched it, came back down, punched through it. This looked very bullish, but of course it was a fake out and it came back down. So getting back over and above this point here was important. And you can see we've just recently got above it. And so that becomes an important point going forward. So just put that in. There's your breakthrough point. And that literally happened on Friday. Okay, and we broke out and got higher. You can see that if we look back in time, not really any time in the past when we have been that high, unless we go further back. And so you might say, okay, here we are. We could put in the argument that a new high that we might look forward to is in this range here, which should put us at around that $35 mark. This might be a point, where we do something like this. From here we go up, tap the line, come back. We might even, bounce around a bit, but ultimately we are going to head higher. So the question then becomes, how high? The old high is over here at, what's that, 49.33, let's call it 50. Yep, $50. And so we might expect that we'll head up with this current trajectory, something like this, before we get to this major resistance point. All right, so that might be something we do with the US dollar version of silver. However, if we take a look at silver, actually, probably should I use that one? I'll use that one. If we look at it in Australian dollars, this is what we're looking at. Okay, get that out the way. So that same previous high was way back here, and you can see the amount was $46.39. Let's get that in place, drag this down here. Okay, you can see this uptrend that we've been in, and the Australian dollar's been quite weak, which is why we've managed to actually break above that $46 level. So in Australian dollar terms, we are at all-time highs. It's never been this high. I could scroll that out, and this chart only goes back to, 2006. But even further back in time, it doesn't get higher. So we're at all-time highs. And the Australian dollar continues to look weak, so we would expect this to continue to head higher. Now, where it stops, that's really difficult to say. But that's what we're looking at for the silver price in Australian dollars. Now, if we look at miners, and the reason we're going to look at miners is we'll see that there's a vast disconnect between what silver has done and what the silver miners have done. So we'll take a look at the US silver ETF for miners. It doesn't show up for Australian miners. There's no ETF for them. You could make one, but I'm not really, going to do that today. I'll just show you that this is the chart we're looking at. So if we look back in the same time period, here are those all-time highs. This is that equivalent of the $50 silver mark. We're nowhere near it. We're way down here. So if we were to match that, we would actually get up to around this $90 mark for silver miners. So they're even in US dollar terms, they're very, very, very underpriced. And there is some catch up to do. And I think that this silver breakout, if it's got legs and if it gets back up here, I think it's game on. All right, for silver miners. But we'll have to wait and see how we go. All right, look at the moon up here. I probably need to drag that over a bit further. So there's your moon. That's where we're headed in the longer term.